Okay. All right, guys. I'm not going to worry about a bow in. We're just going to get started. I want to thank everybody for coming today. Is this on? Is this okay? All right. All right. I want to thank everybody for coming today. This is a huge special event for a whole bunch of reasons. And I'm not going to talk a whole bunch. I don't think it's real necessary. I think everybody knows how I feel about these two and everything they've done for our academy, our gym. But today we are all here to watch James and Alex get promoted to black belt. And black belt in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu is a huge thing. It's a lot of years of hard work and effort. And we have visiting black belts here with us today. Some are not visiting. Some are just folks you don't see a lot. So Tim Sled, raise his hand up there. Tim, if you come in at 5:30 in the morning, you see Tim. Dave Hinthorn. Dave and I have known each other, trained with each other since the start of this gym when I was on folding mats. Steve Cornflow, black belt under Tim. Dave's a black belt under Tim as well. Nick, everybody knows Nick. Tyler, coming down from Indy to visit us. So we have a few other guests here. We have some OGs in the house that are from, again, back in my folding mat days, starting this thing. Back in the small 600 square foot, which is where they started with us. So I really appreciate everybody coming here today and having this kind of support for these two. It shows what they have done for the jiu-jitsu community and what they've done for our gym. And we have people from all over here, so I appreciate that. With that said, James and Alex, would you please come up? I'm good. Right here. Perfect. Thank you. We'll do this by order of promotion. James got his brown belt first. James is one of those guys that I think a lot of people, as he was coming up, you'd look at James and you'd be like, man, this guy's just going to smash me. This guy's going to it's going to be nothing but heavy top pressure. And then he plays like this guard game that's just deep and just super flowy. And there are times he'll smash you for sure, right? But you talk about a depth of game and a depth of teaching ability. You see that greatly in James. And as much as he is gruff with some of you guys sometimes and likes to talk a little game now and then, you will not find a person in this gym that cares more about this team. I truly believe that. So with that, it is my honor today to give you your black belt. I can't believe this thing actually came off.
Gucci makes an A6?
Yeah, I know. I had it custom made in Brazil. Look at that. A belt that doesn't fall apart when you pull on it. Yeah. I love you, man. Congratulations. Thank you. Oh, this is going to hurt. Alex. Here's one of my favorite stories about Alex. A couple years ago, my father-in-law came to a watch class. My father-in-law doesn't train at all. And he watched the whole class. He was just deeply interested in it. And he got done. We got done and we were driving home. And he goes, that little girl with the brown belt, she's kind of a killer, isn't she? I said, you have no idea. You have no idea. And that's the thing about Alex is like people, you know, look at Alex and there's like, okay, yeah, she, you know, she's a brown belt. She's going to be good. And then people don't realize how good she is, right? Until you roll with her. And what I also like to say about Alex is she's the epitome of jiu-jitsu in that we've all heard that old saying from Hickson that you have to learn to get comfortable in uncomfortable positions, right? I don't think anybody epitomizes that more than Alex. If you took us, just like if Josh had that camera and did like a shot of her face right now and just kept it the whole time just on her face through all of her rolls and all the way through, it would look just like this. Like she would not change her face, right? She can handle being uncomfortable anywhere, right? It is very difficult to fluster her. And she's just epitomized that, not only that part of jiu-jitsu, but many others. And also, again, with Alex, she's quiet, but I can tell you, for the fellow teammates in the room, for the junior belts in the room, she knows. You may think that she doesn't know what's going on, but she'll walk up to me and go, hey, such and such is looking good, or such and such needs to work on this, right? Again, another person that in this gym, I don't think people realize how much effort and time she puts in focusing on helping people in little quiet ways. So it's also a special honor. She is our first female black belt.
Hey.
To my knowledge, and some of the other black belts can help me, but to my knowledge, there's less than 10 female black belts in the state of Indiana. I think she's about number 7, if I've counted right.
IUBJJ's first female black belt, somebody to pass through, so that's big.
Yeah. So, you know, long time coming, very representative of the art and a leader in a very quiet way, and it's my honor today to give you your black belt.
There we go.
This belt, there we go.
So proud of you. Love you.
I lost my mic. I do have just a small last thing, and I'll let these guys open them over there. With Nick, I started a tradition with my first black belt of giving knives, and that's something I wanted to continue. Nick's knife was something that I'd actually carried with me for 30 years. It was the knife that my Taekwondo instructor gave me when I got my black belt. So I passed it on to my first black belt. These knives are representative of your styles. So I will let you guys open these. So if anybody knows my nickname for Alex and you look at that knife, you'll understand that. But there's a little information on those knives from the maker that did them in there in your bag, James. But that's a little thing that's representative of you. I think knives are a good gift for jiu-jitsu because the roots of jiu-jitsu are the samurai arts, and the root of jiu-jitsu was for the samurai to get to his blade, right? And it also is representative of the fact that we should in jiu-jitsu constantly look to be cutting, right? Improving ourselves, right? Sharpening our edge. And I think a knife represents that well. So with that, huh? Oh yes, yes. Who goes first?
God, you're giving him a mic?
Wow, I don't want Josh to miss any of this.
So yeah, you'll see the difference in Alex and I with our speeches. She has one written out. For the next 45 minutes, you guys are just going to get my unfiltered inner thought. So buckle up. No, in all seriousness, very cool. My very first time that I trained at Vortex the class was myself, Mick, and a white belt. So thankfully, I decided to become part of the gym and make it what it is today. You're welcome.
Thank you. Thank you.
But I mean, obviously, like Mick said, the community is amazing. The gym is amazing. One of the best things for me has been like doing this with Alex. I was training for a year, I think, before Alex started. So that's been really amazing. Always having a training partner, never needing to like come up with an excuse when I want to go train. Like there was a point where we were training like 6 times a week. So that's always been awesome. But again, like the community is just like the best thing that comes from jiu-jitsu, especially like I don't compete, never really was my thing. So just basically all of my adult friends have come from the mats. Or I've met them through people that I've met on the mats. All of my groomsmen were people from jiu-jitsu. My next wedding, they will be people from jiu-jitsu. But like just the type of friendships that it forms. Mick and I usually, at least every couple months, will send one another a video. Mick's nervous. He's like, which one? We'll send a video from an older movie with Ben Affleck where he just goes into a room with Jeremy Renner. He walks in the room and he says, I need you to go with me. We're going to hurt some people. You can never ask me about it again. And Jeremy's answer is, whose truck are we taking? That's the type of bonds that you form. Like really in adult life, people like to say like, oh, I've got friends that would do anything for me. Usually that's not true. When you need something there, but just training with people, having to trust them, having your health in their hands day in and day out builds relationships that, like, in my experience, you can't find anywhere else. So that has been the amazing thing for jiu-jitsu for me. Like, it's cool to be able to beat people up, but 6'4", 250 pounds, so that's always kind of come, a little easier for me. I don't have to use skill against like 90% of you in the room. So, but the friendships, like that is, you can't really put a value on that. So, even my most recent job, like my current job, like I got from being in here. I just mounted a blue belt and choked him until he agreed to at least give me an interview. So, and I love it. So jiu-jitsu's been very good to me. I want to continue to, give back to everybody. Most importantly, like white and blue belts, the biggest thing for you to take away from this is that the cost of private's doubled. So $60 an hour now. I'm still available, but yeah. But seriously, thank you, Mick. It is an honor to have you. Basically, everyone in here, but especially everyone on the black belt side, has influenced my jiu-jitsu in some way or another. A lot of showing me not what to do, but I told you. Just going to be a roast of everyone. I'm going down the line. But yeah, so thank you guys. I'll still be in here on Monday. So.
So he was right. I did write mine because I don't want a nervous ramble. So. Are we good? Okay. So, I've had a lot of people ask me if I'm excited for this promotion, and the honest answer is no. If you train long enough and consistently enough, someone will hand you a black belt. It is a byproduct of hard work that you put in. It was never a goal for me. And it doesn't really change anything. I'm not suddenly better. I'm still going to come in on Monday. But there are things that are tied to this that make it special. When I first started training, I never thought that I would get my black belt. Not because I thought it was some lofty goal, but because I hated everything about training and I wanted to quit immediately. But James wouldn't let me. So if you think I am awkward now, it was a lot worse when I started. I am someone that struggles with social anxiety, so Jiu-Jitsu was sort of my personal hell. People touched me. I had to touch other people. There was a man that walked around that would critique everything you were doing in front of other people. But about 9 months into training, I got injured and I had to take a month off. And it gave me the perspective that I needed to keep training and to fall in love with the sport. I realized that life felt a little easier. I was more confident. I was finding it easier to people outside of the gym. And most importantly, I was making friends. And if it hadn't been for James forcing me out of my comfort zone night after night, I wouldn't be standing here. So getting to get this promotion alongside him makes this very special. I also get the honor of being the first woman at Vortex to get their black belt, and also I believe the first woman in Bloomington to get their black belt. When I started, I don't think there were any female black belts training in Indiana, and now there is, a handful. So it is an honor to get to be the first and to get to be here and get to help teach and help get the other women to where they are standing here getting their black belt someday. It is also really special to get to have my black belt promotion here at Vortex. When we started training here 12 years ago, we were not under Mick. And that didn't seem to matter. This place felt like home immediately. Before that, your gym just kind of felt like a place that you trained. But when I got here, I didn't feel like, I never felt like a woman on the mats. I just felt like somebody else that was training. I could just be myself. I didn't feel like I had to carve out a place for me. There was already one here. And this sport can be really hard to handle. Not because you have to be tough or anything like that, but you're put into really weird situations. You will have a man sitting on your head trying to break your arm. You will have Drew's sweat drip down your ear canal.
I got a shout out.
You did. And it's because of all of you that I haven't rage quit the first time that I found somebody else's hair in my mouth. Jiu-Jitsu is an individualized sport, but it's your teammates that keep you training, keep you motivated. There are nights that I don't want to come in. I want to be a potato. I want to stay home. But then I think about, I get to sit over here in my corner with James and Chelsea, and every time Mick walks by, we get to talk shit. And that is enough to get me into class. Or, you know, a teammate will be getting ready for a competition and I want to help them. So even when someone's sweat drips into my face or I'm being smothered by some man's hairy chest, I'll continue to show up because life wouldn't be as fun without all of you. Lastly, the person who ties your black belt should matter. Like I said, Mick is someone from day one of us showing up here, never treated James and I any different because we weren't under him. He's never kept any techniques from us because we weren't Team James Klingerman. He's also someone that I have a lot of respect for and who has had a profound impact on my jiu-jitsu. Every person here is a mix of the techniques you learn here and the techniques you learn outside of the gym from other people. But I can still point to things in my game that I got directly from Mick. If it weren't for him, I wouldn't love knee slice passing, and I probably wouldn't love omoplatas as much as I do. He's also a good friend, and he is someone that I'm proud to be one of his first black belts. I am honored that he has showed his confidence in my, my skill by tying this around me. So thank you to everyone who has trained with me for the last 13 and a half years, who has poured technique and time into me, and who has dealt with any awkwardness that I still definitely have. I apologize if I have ever growled at you. I'm not going to stop, but I am sorry. You all make this sport fun, and if it weren't for how much fun it is training in this room, I would not have continued. I would have quit immediately like I wanted to do 13 and a half years ago. So.
Proud of you.
Okay, guys, we would like to do a group photo. Jordan's going to organize that. We're going to do it against this other wall over here. We would like everybody in that group photo. Our new promotions up front with the black belts, of course, but we're going to go ahead and do that, all right? And then we'll start getting some rolls in.